The gaming world can be a tough one to understand if you're not in the loop, and that tends to be where all the stereotypes actually come from. But what are some of the most common things you hear non-gamers saying about the hobby that they just know nothing about? What is up, guys? Jimmy your Chaos. Welcome to Chaos Top 10s, and today we are going to be counting down 10 things that non-gamers say about gamers that are just plain and simply completely wrong. Let's get started. I'm running a huge Fortnite 15,000 V-Bucks giveaway the entire month. All you have to do to enter is like this video, be subscribed to the channel, turn on your notifications, and leave me a comment why you want to win with your Twitter handle attached. The winner will be picked at the end of the month. Kicking off our list at number 10 today is they're antisocial. That's right, kicking off the list is just one that is plainly false. A common thing that non-gamers like to say about gamers is that they're antisocial, they're not talkative, and they're socially awkward. And while some of us may be a little awkward in certain situations, who isn't that way? In reality, gamers aren't any more antisocial than any other group out there. After all, we spend a lot of our time talking to people online with similar interests, and we even go to big conventions and esports events just to celebrate the hobby that we love with other people that love it as well. So, no, gamers are not inherently more antisocial than anybody else. At number 9, they're overweight. This one's a little tricky because, yes, there are a good amount of overweight people in the gaming community, but in order to prove this wrong, all you need to do is to go to a convention and look around. Just take a look around. In the last few years, it seems like there has been a wave of gamers being more interested in fitness and fighting the stereotypes, and more of us are starting to get into shape and stay there. So, I guess all the crap that the gaming community has gotten over the years about being out of shape has actually got a lot of us fed up with it, which I guess is a good thing. I can speak personally. I am a gamer. I do YouTube for a living, and about 5 years ago, I was 305 pounds until I decided to change my lifestyle and decided that I wanted to live more healthier, and I can proudly say that I have lost almost 74 pounds since then. At number 8, esports is so stupid and it's not technically a sport. This is one that makes me laugh whenever I hear it. Esports has exploded over the last few years, and it's now on its way to being one of the most profitable industries in the entire world. Competitive gaming is a ton of fun to watch and participate in, but there are still lots of people out there that just don't get it. I'm sure you have heard plenty of people say things like competitive gaming is ridiculous, or you're just watching them play instead of playing, but at the same time, they fail to see that this is all those things that can be said about real-world sports as well. You're just watching them play instead of playing yourself, you armchair quarterback. You're paying to watch people play a game. It's the exact same thing with esports. It makes me laugh whenever people fail to see this. At number 7, video games are for kids. How many times have you guys heard this one? To be honest, I'll never understand the claim or where it even came from, because all you need to do to prove this one is false is go to Amazon and look at all the games available with that M for mature stamp on them. Even when video games first became a thing, they weren't explicitly for kids, but rather they were for everybody. Then as the industry grew and expanded, there were more and more games made for different audiences and age groups. And sure, the most popular games during the rise of the industry were games like Mario and Sonic, but that's not all the games out there. We still had games like Doom, Wolfenstein, Conker's Bad Fur Day, simulation games, building games, and so many more. Games aren't for kids and kids alone, and they never really have been, and that's the beauty of being a fan of video games. You can be a fan of any age. You could be 5, you could be 15, you could be 80. I know a YouTuber that is 80 plus years old that is a fan of RPG games. Everybody can enjoy them. At number 6, you played games for 5 hours, you have no life. This one drives me nuts, especially when it comes from someone who then goes and does whatever their hobby is for 5 hours as well, be it reading, watching TV, or whatever it is they're into. A hobby is a hobby, so naturally you're going to spend a lot of time doing it because it's your passion. You enjoy it. The only difference between gaming as a hobby and TV as a hobby is the fact that gaming has a bunch of weird, outdated stereotypes attached to it. So if you watch football all day on a Sunday, people don't even think twice about it. But if you go play video games all day on a Sunday, lots of people like to use the stereotype that you're a loser. It absolutely makes no sense. Cracking into the top 5 today, why don't you go make some memories? I've heard this one personally before. I can't even begin to tell you all the amazing memories that I personally have had because of video games, all the way back from my childhood to when I became an adult, to friends that I've made in the video game industry, or friends I've made just playing games. For some reason, when people think of something being memorable, it involves traveling somewhere, going out somewhere, or something involving a thing you don't normally have. But gaming can create some awesome memories as well. Think of all the great times you've had gaming with your friends and all the moments that happened in a game that you would never have been able to experience anywhere else. Perhaps you hit an amazing shot in Fortnite with your friends hyping you for it, or maybe you clutched that last S&D round in a game of COD with your squad. Gaming creates amazing memories, and that is part of why we love it so much. At number 4, if you want a story, read a book or watch a movie. For some reason, there are still a lot of people out there who really don't grasp the concept of great stories being in video games. In fact, games like The Last of Us, BioShock Infinite, and The Witcher 3 have had stories that were not only excellent people, but also simply would not have worked in any other way than being in a video game universe. Video games allow us to be the main character and make decisions that impact the story, and they also give us way more time with that character than a 2-hour movie would. Being directly involved with the story's progression plays a huge part in why video game stories can be so effective. If you accompany that with great writing, visuals, and voice acting, you have one of the most immersive story experiences ever locked up in a video game. So the whole, if you want a story, read a book or watch a movie, it's just, honestly, it's just ignorant. Here's a big one at number 3. The games are making them violent. Now, this is plainly false, and we yet to continue to hear this news and politicians spout it out as if it hasn't been disproved time and time again. Countless studies have proven that there is no link between violent video games and them making people violent. If that were the case, there would be a lot more people violent running around, don't you think? Grand Theft Auto 5 is one of the best-selling games of all time, but I don't see 90 million people running around stealing cars and robbing banks. Do you guys? While I do agree that younger kids shouldn't be exposed to really violent video games and they're impressionable, that's more of a fear factor than the actual warping of their minds that people claim it does. There has been nothing, nada, that proves video games make people more violent. And the only hard evidence in that case has been on the other side of the story. So nice try with that one whenever you use it, and it gets used a lot. At number 2, is that a Nintendo? How many of you have older relatives who still think every game console and every game cartridge is a Nintendo? Now, to be fair, when these people were growing up, just about every successful game console was a Nintendo, and Nintendo single-handedly rebuilt the Western console market. And I give them props for that with the release of the NES, but come on, guys. There is more than just a Nintendo now. You need to open up your world, open up your tunnel vision, open up your universe, and see that there's many, many more options than just a Nintendo. Looking at an Xbox One or even a PC and saying, is that a Nintendo? Come on now. You have to educate yourself. And finally, at number 1 today, you're addicted. Finishing off our list is another one of those lines that I really don't understand. When a non-gamer learns how much time a gamer spends with their hobby or how much they enjoy it, they're often quick to whip out the old "you're addicted" card, despite the fact that addiction is so much deeper than that. There is a massive difference between enjoying your hobby and prioritizing it over other hobbies and being legitimately addicted to something. Now, when you're addicted to something, your brain thinks you cannot live without it, and you will become physically dependent on it. When you just enjoy something, you enjoy it and you have fun doing it. There is a huge, huge difference, but nope, apparently having gaming as your hobby qualifies as a legit addiction. But if your hobby is watching sports or reading or anything else in the world, well, that's not an addiction. It totally makes sense. I'm joking. It makes absolutely no sense at all. Now, I'm not saying that you can't become addicted to video games. You can become addicted to anything if you let them totally take control of your life. But it's not just video games, and a lot of people like to single it out as such. And there you have it, my friends. Those are 10 things that non-gamers like to say about gamers. And I may have gotten a little passionate on this list. I may have raised my voice a little bit, but I am passionate. I am a gamer, and I have seen all of these stereotypes, as I'm sure many of you have seen them, and you have actually dealt with them as well. So this was kind of a passionate subject for me to go over. If you have any other stereotypes that you have witnessed or experienced, you let me know in the comment section. I hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like if you did. Make sure you're subscribed. Turn on those notifications. You can see it on the screen right now. It's a simple, 2 or 3 step process, and hopefully you will get notified every time a video goes live. This has been another Gaming Top 10. There's a playlist below if you want to check out all the other ones. and I will see you guys soon.